Hi, I'm Sophie from In the Mess, and today we're going to do a quick reminder about ECG interpretation. So you want to start by checking that you've got the correct ECG for your patient and that the machine was set up correctly. So you want a 10 millivolt setup and you want it running at 25 millimeters per second. The first thing to say is there any electrical activity at all? Yes or no? If no, you've probably got a lead detached. You might potentially be seeing asystole, but if your patient's alert and talking to you, less likely. Next, you want to work out what your ventricular rate is. You can do this in two ways. You can either count the number of large boxes between your QRS complexes and divide 300 by that number, or you can count the total number of QRS complexes that you see on the rhythm strip across the whole length of the page and multiply that by 6. If your patient has got a lot of variation between the timing of their QRS complexes, for example, a very irregular heart rate, I would go for the second method as it gives you a more accurate overall estimate of their heart rate. Next, you want to see whether or not the QRS complex looks regular. That's again, yes or no. One way to do this is to draw a line on a spare piece of paper at each QRS complex and then move this piece of paper along the rhythm strip between QRS complexes and see if your lines fall at the same place every time. If they don't, you've got an irregular rhythm. If they do, it's likely to be regular. Then you want to see whether or not your QRS complexes are narrow or broad. They should really be less than 120 milliseconds or 3 small boxes on your ECG paper. So a narrow QRS complex would be normal and a broad one would be abnormal, and it suggests you've got abnormal spread of the electrical signal through the His-Purkinje system and down through the bundle branches. You want to see whether or not there is any atrial activity at all. Can you see P waves? The best lead for seeing P waves is in lead 2. You need a nice quality ECG for this. If you've got a lot of artifact, it's going to be difficult to spot your P waves. Is every P wave followed by a QRS complex? Are there dropping QRS complexes? Is there absolutely no relationship between your P waves and your QRSs? You want a nice, regular relationship between the P waves and the QRS intervals to say for certainty that this is normal sinus rhythm. We've got a few spot diagnosis ECGs that we'll look at in the next section, but essentially a nice systematic approach to ECGs will help you get the diagnosis most of the time. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a thing.